I'm Myke Shrews.
And I'm Tivis.
And you're listening to
The Munster Cast.
episode 90. Yeah. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, humanoids throughout the multiverse, welcome back to the Munster Cast, the podcast where we watch and talk about the Munsters and Munsters adjacent. I am, of course, your host, Myke Shrews, here with my co-host and friend, Tivis. So, Tivis, dude, please tell the people out into the Munsterverse. How you been, dude?
Dude, Doctor Who is back. I'm so happy, even though the first episode wasn't that good.
That's always I guess a good thing. They're doing that on Disney now, right?
Yeah,
Disney Plus or whatever. God, I
then,
hope I wasn't really loud just now doing that intro.
Also, my wife woke us up. Apparently, the sorry, audio listeners, the Northern Lights were visible in Ohio if you used your camera last night. Not so much with your naked eye, but we got some cool photos.
Last night being May the 10th.
Yeah, well, the night before we record this. I wasn't gonna say that, but
well, I mean, you always bring up very timely things, so it's kind of.
I know we're out, but still.
Yeah. All right, guys. Welcome back to the Munster Cast, guys. Real quick, we will get through some dirty business. You can find the Munster Cast on social media via Facebook and Instagram, all via the Munster Cast. You can also check out our pretty ugly faces every Munster Monday at youtube.com/@TheMunsterCast. Oh, geez. You can also swing on over to visit www.themunstercast.com. That is themunstercast.com. Over there, you can find all of our content in one place, guys. Definitely do check that out. There is also a little microphone icon on the right-hand side of the screen where you can click that and leave us a voice message. We appreciate all the messages we have gotten so far, and we look forward to all the new ones too, especially if you guys do allow us to play it on air. Just let us know at the very end so that we can cut that part out, but then leave the rest of it on there so we can play it on the show. And then there's also a store tab on the munstercast.com website, or you can just swing on over to themunstercast.com/merch and check out some of our awesome swag made specifically for you guys out there, Munster fans and Munstercast fans alike. You can also, if you want to tell us any of your Munster stories, get onto the podcast, or just send us some fanfic stuff, fan photos, fan whatever. Munster related. Heck yeah, even do fan photos of us. That would be awesome, Tivis. You can send those. You can send those over to TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. That is TheMunsterCast@outlook.com. Tivis, take it away.
We also have a Patreon, which is basically just a tip jar, but we do give the added bonus of getting access to our Discord, where you can then check out the episodes of Munsters Today that Myke posts on there, because it's the only way we have been able to share it. That does not allow people to download it because we don't want Universal mad at us for distributing it. Yeah.
Definitely.
But what helps the show more than that is, I know we're going fast, but we really want to talk about this episode, is leaving a review on anything that allows you to comment, YouTube, social media, whatever. Tell us how we're doing. Give us a star rating. The higher, the better. But we want you to be truthful. We really do love the critique, giving us feedback that we can use and not just being an asshole.
Yeah.
And also telling people about us, spreading the word of it. We're only going to do so many episodes because there's only so much Munsters we can do. But we would love to leave the Munsters franchise, is the right word? I don't know. All of that in a better, we want people talking about it long after we're done. We want to be able to go talk to random people on the street about it. We would Universal to take notice. That's the kind of stuff we wish to accomplish with this show. We didn't exactly set out for that, but after all the hype from the movie, it'd be awesome to get more Munsters content in the future.
Oh yeah, definitely, guys. Guys, and real quick too, if you want some awesome swag, or you have your own podcast, your own companies, whatever, swing on over to themunstercast.com/sticker mule and then 10. That is 10 sticker mule 10. You get a $10 off credit for your order. We also do get a kickback of a $10 credit onto our account. We don't get cash, but we do get credit, so that's awesome. Definitely take advantage of that, guys. That is Sticker Mule 10. That's themunstercast.com/Sticker Mule 10. Definitely take advantage of that, guys. All right, Tivis. So what are we talking about today?
We are talking about Reunion, Season 2, Episode 13, or 108th overall. Aired Saturday. I believe it's still Saturday. I did not double check this. February 3rd, 1990.
I believe it is still a Saturday, yeah.
So this one didn't have a clear written by. We have the teleplay by Leslie Eberhard and Barbara Hobart. This is their second of two, so they're the last time we're going to see those names. The last time we saw them was There's No Place Like Home. And the story was by Daryl Rowland and Lisa De Benedictis. I think. I don't know. This is their one and only episode. Both got their start on an episode of Kate and Allie in 1984. Daryl was production assistant, while Lisa was production secretary. Daryl has his first writing credit on that show, while Lisa's first was this very episode that we are about to go over. They both went on to work on Saved by the Bell, the college years, as executive story editors. They both have wrote shows for Mad About You in 92, Dream On in 94, Bringing Up Jack in 95, Buddies in 96, Ellen in 95, Something So Right in 96, Bad News Mr. Swanson in 01, and then Loco X Voss in 2016. They both produced Ellen and Something So Right. Daryl also produced Bad News Mr. Swanson. And while they both worked on additional crew for Katie and Allie, the college years and Dream On, Lisa continued on by herself with 2003, My Architect, 2008, Under Our Skin, and Slingshot in 2014 as a PR consultant. So, interesting careers. And this was directed by Scott Redman, which is his third of 6. So he's halfway done with us. Last seen with The Eyes Have It. And now we're about to get into the cast, which, hey, Mike, I did it this week. We got Foster Brooks as Igor. He's back. First credit is the Munsters' happy 100th anniversary as the Admiral. So he's a returning member of the Munsters family. I say family as in people who've been in the show. We got Peter Schuck as Frank. First credit is Three's Company in 1977. Other stuff he's been in that caught my eye, again, highly recommend going to check these people out yourself, see what sticks out to you, being like, oh, wow, okay. He was in 23 episodes of Operation Petticoat as Seaman Horwich, an episode of A Man Called Sloan. I had to talk about that one. And also Tales of the Crypt.
Who was the Admiral?
The Admiral, do you remember the 100th happy 100th anniversary? It's the one where they both got a job and flirted with each other, not knowing who they were.
Yeah.
The Admiral was the guy at the end who came in to inspect.
Okay.
So he had a brief role on screen, but
Gotcha.
okay. We have Yetta as Yetta. She will actually return in season 3 as a different character, and her first acting credit was Roxy in 1987.
Okay.
We have Angelina Fiordelisi as Bella. First credit was The Cosby Show in 1987. Next was an episode of Roseanne in 1988. She was on Star Trek: The Next Generation as Kamener in season 6, episode 5, Schisms, which I feel like that episode specifically has come up several times with the Munsters.
Yeah.
She was in 26 episodes of Thunder Alley as Rita from 94 to 95, and she appeared in Law and Order in 96, which is a show that deserves mentioning just by the fact that it's still going. Next, we got 2 more guests here. We got Lauren Freeman as Boris. This is another one that will return as another character in season 3. First credit was General Hospital in 63. Notable appearances, just real quick here. We got Night Court, 24 episodes of What a Dummy as the voice of Buzz. Murphy Brown, Saved by the Bell, The New Class, reprising his role as Mr. Lazar. Grace Under Fire, Weird Science, the TV show, Baywatch Nights, The Jamie Foxx Show, Will and Grace, Grounded for Life, Bernie Mac Show, and Veronica Mars. So, long career there. And finally, we have Christopher Fielder as Damien. Only 3 credits to his name. The first is Wonder Years in 1989, then this show, and then the short summer camp in 2009. It was a short called The Summer Camp in 2009, right. 19 years later after this episode.
Which isn't unheard of, too, though, of child actors from the 80s and early 90s of doing like 3 things and then they're out, you know. Usually they Hollywood knew if they wanted them or not by then, you know, unfortunately.
Did some of them just want to go off to school.
Did you do Frank as well already? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, that's the one you interrupted me to talk about the Admiral. Peter Schuck.
Yeah.
He was in Tales of the Crypt. I expect you to ask about that one, but
yeah.
Then you jump back.
He is John Schuck's real life baby brother. Did you mention that?
I did not. I got distracted with the Admiral question, but yeah, that's a fun fact.
Sorry.
He is the Frankensteins are related in real life,
which was really cool. Yeah. Yeah, I saw that one because I was like, they look very alike.
And even though
I had to search him up
again. Peter is so much shorter.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I wonder, did they just not give him the boost, or
yeah, he didn't, because when they're standing next to each other, John has like the giant platform shoes still, where he is just like on flats almost. I saw that, and I think they did that on purpose too, to emphasize that he is the little baby brother, you know.
So they don't have Peter's height, but apparently John is 6 foot.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I'm sure John is still taller than him for real in real life.
Yeah.
Because those platforms are only they probably make him, what, 6'8", 6'10", maybe, if that, in the show. Because they're not that big of a platform.
I'm trying to find a photo of both of them together, and apparently they just never took photos together in public.
No, really?
Yeah, I cannot.
That's weird.
Yeah, it's all photos from things they've both done throughout their career. Nothing.
Yeah.
Ah, well.
Okay. All right. So is it the time?
It is the time.
The synopsis time.
Synopsis time.
All right, guys, here we go. Let me take a drink of water.
Already done.
All right. The reunion, which aired February 3rd, 1990, as Tivis previously stated. On this episode of The Munsters Today, in a twisted family tale, a seemingly innocent wedding spirals into a chaotic reunion for the Munsters. Herman finds himself in yet another weekly side quest, grappling with his disdain for his baby brother, while his niece Bella prepares to wed a man yet to be seen. Meanwhile, Grandpa faces the hilarious challenge of rejecting yet another suitor reminiscent of the great intergalactic tyrant Ivan Ooze. Will the family rally together, or will Marilyn feel out of place? As toasts are made, will Marilyn finally get her hands on a glass of wine? Or will Eddie have to fend off the unexpected arrival of Lewis's long-lost son? And just when things couldn't get any crazier, Grandpa battles with the drunken ramblings of his former protege and lab assistant Igor, who returns to Munster Manor. Will this weekend be the best of the Munsters, or will the family fall apart in the wake of a long-lost uncle who suffers from a lie which caused so much familial trauma? Will this be the beginning of the end of Eddie as he grapples with the right and wrong morality with a flamethrower? Will Marilyn's wardrobe increase or decrease in size? Will Herman decimate his baby brother or bring to light a revelation that will secure a family bond for centuries to come? And will chaos ensue? Find out this week on The Munsters Today. Okay. What?
I don't even know where to begin with that.
Why?
First of all, are you going to keep both takes in the cutout part?
I don't know. We'll see.
Second of all, Ivan Ooze?
She looks like there's some spots where she looks like Ooze. And it just kept popping in my head the whole time I was watching. I was like, she looks like Ivan Ooze, dude.
I didn't. That is I don't know how many people are going to get that reference that listen to us.
For people who don't understand the Ivan Ooze reference, he is a villain from the 90s Power Rangers film that came out. Unfortunately, the Power Rangers don't own that villain anymore. I think Disney owns that one, right? The villain.
Yeah, they got it from Fox.
Yeah. So if you don't get that reference, Google Ivan Ooze.
He's pure American creation and he's glorious, but my God, is that a weird reach? Okay, so let's dive into this.
I was wondering what you were like freaking out over there about.
Because it's just to pull that out of your butt. What?
Oh, so I could that one you're like what? But I did like a Dusty Rhodes, Cody Rhodes reference before, or like a Hardy Boys reference, and you were just like, everyone will get that.
Well, I mean, at least that's current.
The Hardy Boys isn't that current though.
They're always current. All right, so
and like the Munsters is current, bro. The Munsters Today.
They just had a movie like 2 years. Oh my God, it's been 2 years.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're getting old doing this show.
It freaked me out realizing we're heading into our 4th year or 3rd year. What year is this? I don't know when we started.
Third year? We're wrapping up on. Wait. How many episodes do we have left of this season, guys?
Of this season, we are almost at the
2.
halfway point.
Crap.
All right.
There's
so
24 episodes.
Our very first episode was in 2021, so we're in our 3rd year.
Yeah. That's when we aired it in October, but we did pre-recordings before then to gear up to an October release, right?
Yeah, we started early September.
Yeah. Late August, early September is when we started recording originally. Because we
I
were
have
doing
the
another
exact
show at
date.
the time. Sorry, guys.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into this show now, or the episode.
Yes.
Unless you have some more thoughts before.
I put all my thoughts into my synopsis.
All righty. So we open with Herman and Grandpa creating a tiny wooden guillotine.
Dun, dun, dun.
Lily comes back from getting the letter from someone that someone sent collect. Grandpa says, how is Aunt Yada? And she's like, why do you think it has to be someone from our family who is this cheap? And then she starts reading. She's like, well, Yada has happy news. Her daughter Bella is getting married. And Grandpa says that's not news, that's a miracle. Bella
So
is so...
how do you send a letter collect?
That is a good question. The mailman stands there until he gets the money. I don't know.
Or
Bella
maybe it was
is...
like a thing where it's like they sent something in the mail and the recipient had to pay for the postage of it.
Maybe. Or you don't
Was
get
that
your
ever
letter.
a thing? That could never have been a thing though, for real. 'Cause there's no way that anybody would have done that.
Can you send a letter collect? Let's see, Google. Collect on the... Yeah, I knew about that. That's like postage though. Or not
Yeah.
like shipping.
Yeah. Dun, dun,
I mean,
dun.
USPS does offer it, so I guess you can.
I guess so. All right. Look at that. The more you know. Anyways, back to the guillotine.
So, Bella is so ugly. How ugly is she? All right, so
This dude, they shit talk Bella here right now with her looks.
This is
so
okay.
much. It's so weird.
It's like a return to like the Maryland jokes from the original show, but it's like reverse because it used to be the more disfigured a person is, the more beautiful they were in the family's eyes.
Right. So it got me here because then later stuff happens too, and then other comments are said throughout the show too that it's just like I don't know where their balance is with the family, you know?
No, well, anyway, Bella is so ugly they had to put a pot roast on her lap so the dog would go around her. Herman says she won the homeliest girl south of the Balkans. Grandpa's like, yeah, she the unibrow is what's cinched it, won it for her. I don't know the word I'm looking for, but I didn't put it in my notes. I don't know why I'm trying to change it. Throwing myself up. Tripping myself up.
Throwing yourself up. I threw myself up.
It's a weird morning, guys. Lily continues and the guy's name is Boris, who comes from a famous circus family. He's the son of Zelnor, the invisible trapeze artist. Grandpa asks if he's invisible too. And for some reason, Lily knows that, yeah, he is. He's like, it's a perfect match for Bella. He won't have to be seen with her. Yeah.
So rude, man. Yeah.
It is.
I just didn't understand the whole premise of this whole beginning right here because it's like you're crap talking someone who generally would fit the family perfectly. So,
and this is where that story I heard about that dude earlier in this week named Boris that I sent you. Yeah, this is where the humor comes in. Yeah,
gotcha.
So Herman wishes they had them a happily ever after. Grandpa asks where the wedding will be, and Lily reads, gets a look of pure unhappiness. Herman takes note of this as she begins to tell them, right here in the living room. Grandpa groans and like leans back in the couch. It's great. It's a good reaction. Herman is furious at the nerve of these people. And Grandpa says, look, I'm not surprised. The last family outing, they took every bit of the leftovers for themselves. Yeah, no, can't do that.
Yeah.
Yetta even burned her
Yeah.
tongue licking the grill, which, what?
And how
What is
are
wrong
they
with these
related?
people?
How are they related?
It has to be Herman's side of the family because Lily is adamant that the whole family be present, and it seems to include some, someone we'll get to. So Lily continues that they are bringing Igor. I'm like, hey, he's back. And I was not prepared for what I was about to see. Herman asked why they would want a hunchback limbo dancer, and I really wanted this to pay off and be delivered in the story. It wasn't.
Yeah.
Nor was what I expected Igor to look like. Grandpa says, he's also an ordained minister of Transylvania, so that's why.
So it makes sense, right? Yep.
Yeah. Lily's like, hey, let's use this as an excuse to invite everyone over. Tide them over for a couple hundred years. And I feel you, Lily. I'm good with seeing my family once every couple months. Herman knows she isn't suggesting inviting his brother Frank. They haven't spoken for 200 years. Why ruin a good thing?
Yeah.
And this is why I think this has to be on Herman's side of the family, because, the whole Frank thing.
Yeah.
Also, it would be creepy if it's on Lily's side for something that happens very end of the episode.
That is true. Right. Yeah. That is true.
So,
although there's
Marilyn,
a bunch of monsters, so
no, we're not going there. Enter Eddie and Marilyn. We hear the front door noise, but they kind of just materialize in the living room. Grandpa tells them, what's happening, and Eddie asks if Damien's coming. Lily's like, oh, he's such a sweet boy. And Eddie's like, you do know the Omen movies were based on his life, right?
Right. So does that mean this is like actually Lewis's son?
Why does the wedding have to be here? I don't know.
Yeah. Oh.
I don't know if they ever bring that up.
They don't ever bring up the fact that he, because if it's Damien, the Damien, he would technically be Lewis's son.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why Lewis was so happy to meet the Munsters, because his son's part of the clan in some way. Maybe he was looking for a way to reconnect with his kid, Mr. Gateman style.
Maybe. Maybe. I love this line from Grandpa though, replying to Eddie about why they have to have the wedding there. And he's like, that's because we don't have time to move.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we don't have time to move.
Yeah. And this just sets up what's about to happen so perfectly. Okay, we're about to get into it, but from here on out, this episode reminds me of the Christmas Vacation.
Yeah, like National Lampoons. Yeah, National Lampoons. I can't speak today. Jeez. As you could tell from my thing earlier. Anyway, if I kept it in, we'll find out on this week's episode of the MunsterCast. I don't know.
Oh, you need sleep, dude.
Oh, I do need sleep. I haven't been sleeping. All right, so then we jump over to the next scene where knock, knock, knock at the door. Who's there?
It's Yetta.
And I wrote down her whole thing that she says, by the way. So
go right ahead.
So Yetta walks on in, and Marilyn asks her how it was, and so, where's the rest of the family at first? And she says they're out. What were they doing to the cab? Because
they were fighting with the cab driver, and she hopes he had his tetanus shots, which is scary.
Yeah. And then she asked her how she was, and then this is where Yetta goes. Yeah, how was your trip? And she goes, well, The plane was 20 hours late. The food was lousy. We had to sit through Howard the Duck twice. My feet are killing me. I have a splitting headache. But other than that, how are you?
As soon as they brought up Howard the Duck, I'm like, oh, Myke is gonna love this.
So, fun story. I didn't watch Howard the Duck until like about 10 years ago, I want to say. Well, yeah, roughly around that time. And after I watched it, I was so mad at my family for never like having this movie around me as a child.
I still haven't seen it. It's on my list of things to watch, like the Fan 4 stick, but
It's not like a badass movie, but it is so much fun for myself. And you have to watch it because they very, very closely teeter on like bestiality in that movie. So it's like,
oh, I've heard.
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. Anyways,
I mean, it's the same thing Family Guy does, though.
right, with Brian and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
she asks how Herman is, and before asking or getting an answer, she gives her bag to Herman and walks into the living room.
Yep. Where
Lily,
Marilyn's just standing there.
yeah, Lily cannot wait to tell her the ideas for the wedding, and yet is like, "Don't worry, I will take care of it all. It's got to get done with taste." So here we go. One of these relatives. And I remember why we haven't invited my aunt back to our house. Then notices Marilyn just standing there for just waiting, and she's like, "Oh, you have such a stunning dress. Why didn't you buy it in your size? Good Lord, throw this lady out."
At that point, I'm like, does she mean it's too big, too small? Like, what is she saying? And it breaks like Marilyn's like heart almost. You can see it just like drain in her face.
The rest of the stuff that happens in this scene, Marilyn just looks crushed. The rest of it.
And this to me too, like hearing this line, to be honest, to Marilyn is even worse when we know the real life circumstances behind the scenes part of the fact that they were like, oh yeah, you have to lose weight and here have lip injections and crap like that, which is kind of messed up. But so like knowing that makes this line even worse for me when they say it. It's not even a funny line in the first place, but
no.
Yeah,
I mean, it seems in character for her. She's backhanded compliment,
right?
Kind of. Why are you even here, relative?
Yeah, it's Ivan News.
Yeah,
she looks like Ivan News. Come on, you can't tell me she doesn't look like Ivan News.
She does not.
All right, let me find the screen grab. All right,
yeah. While you're doing that, I'll continue the scene. She then sees Eddie and gives a laugh in such a way that Marilyn has to cover her ears, and I can't tell if it's acting, like, Marilyn cover, or the fact that the laugh was so shrill and right next to her that the actress was like, "Oh dear God."
Yeah.
It was a great laugh. I'll give her that. She goes over to Eddie. "How old are you now? 8? I'm 14. Well, don't worry. You got plenty of time to grow." Lady.
Yeah.
Any luck with the screen grab?
Yeah, I think I found something.
Right. Let's see if I can continue a little bit longer here.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Grandpa comes out and she's like, "How are you?" "Don't ask." And he's like, "Fine," and walks away.
I won't do nothing.
And now we get introduced to Damien.
Yeah.
Eddie's asking him, "What's happening?" And he's like, "Oh, you ever sacrificed a chicken?" Eddie just not even answering, turns around to look at his family like, it's already begun.
It has begun.
He's already creepy as hell. Well, it's
Okay.
nice to see you too. All right, here we go. Sorry, audio
All right.
listeners.
Yeah. Where'd the image go? I'm trying to upload this, guys, to the video feed here. All right. So
You
it's
can go
not
over to you.
perfect because, of course, their skin color is 2 different colors. But there is a scene later on. I didn't find that specific one of her where her chin looks longer. So I mean, I'm just saying, like it looks like Ivanhoe's.
I think you're wrong. I don't.
I think you're wrong. Look,
I don't.
I don't. You know what? It doesn't matter. It's
Listeners, if you were to become a watcher, do it for this specific thing so you can tell which. Leave a comment on the video. Which one of us?
Look at those faces.
Is
Come on
wrong.
now.
No, I don't see it.
Yeah, it's Ivanhoe's mom, bro. Come on now.
I do not see it.
Yeah, that's because you're blind. Take your glasses off, get a better prescription, come back. Now I'm eye shaming somebody on the internet. Great. That's the takeaway.
Like
from
I
this
said,
episode.
listeners, become watchers. Watch this specific part. Let us know what you think. Do they look alike or don't?
I'm gonna recolor her to be purple, and I'll show you. It will look just like it.
Anyways, so now we get Bella, and she introduces them to Boris, and then they spend a few seconds feeling around the room trying to find him before.
We did get confirmation that Eddie is 14 there too.
Yes, we did. That's true.
Yeah. Sorry.
So that
but yeah,
that's roughly freshman.
Yeah. So we get Bella comes in. Everybody looks around for Boris like they're stupid. And she's like, stop embarrassing my family. And then they just stop.
Herman, he's like, hey, where's Igor? And Yetta tells him he got drunk and locked himself in the toilet. He's afraid to fly, which is ironic since he was a bat in the previous show.
Mm-hmm.
Grandpa is also shocked by this. He's like, the man who scaled the cathedral in a halter top? Then he walks in, and my God, is this guy tall and drunk.
Very drunk.
Herman proposes a toast to the sharing and caring in Munsters tradition, and Igor asks where Frank is. The mood of the room dies.
Completely changes, yeah. And then he's like, oh, there's that F word again.
Yeah. Yeah, Grandpa says this while turning to where I think Boris is at the time.
Yeah.
Herman is pissed. Marilyn is still recovering from Yetta, and Lily is just sad.
Well, during this such time too, like they were doing their little toasty thing. Marilyn, like I feel like the actress thought she was supposed to have a glass because she just stands there.
Act like
it, and it was like Herman was supposed to give her a glass too or something, because she does this weird like thing with her hands, like she didn't know what to do. It looked like because they just have her standing.
She handed the bottle off to whoever it was too. It seemed like she was shocked. Like, wait, what are you doing?
Right. Yeah, so that's where kind of part of my synopsis came from too, with that part there, because it looked like she was supposed to have a drink in her hand or something. She was supposed to be doing something else because it was very awkward. Yeah.
But here's where we get a little interesting.
Definitely go watch that scene if you guys can, if you can find it, or if you're on our Discord stuff. Definitely go watch that, because it threw me. It was jarring, to be honest, for like the first time I think in watching the Munsters.
Or better yet, let's do that. We haven't done this in a while. Hey, Universal, how about a upscaled version of this show for home release?
Yes. And maybe some better photos, because the photos I can get from this, they're not like super great, but they're all the internet's gonna get at the moment.
Yeah. But we get this interesting little bit of info here. Eddie doesn't know who Frank is. Apparently he hasn't even been told he has another uncle.
Yeah.
Bella slaps Boris for looking at her. They don't specify who her is. It could either be Marilyn or Lily. But when
Yeah.
she wants to hit, she finds him no problem. She then twists what I can only guess is his nipple. This lady is abusive.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Yetta says she didn't fly 30,000 miles for her daughter to get married in a place like this. Igor just burps in response, and Grandpa says this weekend has a success written all over it.
Yeah. Is this where?
The
Oh no, it's when they sit down and eat. That's what it is. Never mind.
the next morning, Herman is saying how everyone must be feeling better. They have to be in a better mood after a good night's
Yeah.
sleep. And Grandpa comes storming up from the lab in the background as Yetta comes in. He tells her he couldn't sleep due to all her snoring, and she is shocked he can hear anything with all that hair coming out of his ears. And then they split, which is about as cordial of a morning greeting as you can get.
And Herman seemed to be like okay with it. He was like, "See,
Yeah,
told you."
Like, that's a good sign,
right? That's funny.
Igor comes in still drunk as can be, with Marilyn behind him from the hallway in the kitchen. So now I'm wondering what, because we know the house kind of goes in a loop that way, but we never see what's on that side of the house. So I'm real curious what's down there.
That is true.
Is that like
yeah,
guest
we
rooms and stuff?
never get to see anything over there. So
Yeah.
yeah.
Herman's like, "Hey, what do you take with your coffee?" He's like, "Kahlua." And I'm like, "Hey, that was my grandma's favorite drink with milk." Rest in peace.
you say that say it like Igor's still drunk. No. He didn't stop drinking. Like, yeah.
Oh yeah, he is drunk 24/7.
Yeah. Which I mean, is
Marilyn
good
comes in
because
right
then he
behind him,
won't
as I
get a
said,
hangover.
complaining. Yeah. Well, she's complaining that it took an hour for her to get a shower this morning and there wasn't any towels left. And Igor tells her she should have done what he did, use the drapes. Which now, like that hallway, could that be like where the bathrooms are? Like the shower and stuff? Yeah.
Well, there is a bathroom
interesting,
upstairs too. We know that.
Oh, yeah, we do know that. That's true. But a house that size, I wouldn't be shocked if they had two.
At least, yeah.
Yeah.
It's just probably an outhouse in the back, and
I love this show. It is so fun, and I love the stories and stuff. It's just my one gripe will continue to be we are stuck on this set.
Like, yeah, they haven't been leaving the house lately, so and if you're gonna do that, at least expand the house.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to see like flip the house. I want to build something for that other side. I want to see what's there. Kind of like how they had the original show where we had the main room and then the kitchen dining room area.
Do they? I just noticed something in this flash here. I'm going to show you. I'm going to show the audience real quick, guys. There's a scene in here. It's just because I have it paused too that I noticed it. So at the table as Bella comes out, you see in the back room here, is that the Mona Lisa in the back there?
It does look like it is.
Like, is it the real one, or is it just supposed to be like a replica? Because that looks like the actual Mona Lisa up there, back there. Unfortunately, I can't do like a pointer on the screen, guys. But if you look up in the the right hand corner
above Herman,
yeah, right above Herman's head there, guys. For the video guys, sorry again for audio today. But yeah, it definitely looks like they have a Mona Lisa in there. Like, I'm assuming it's a hallway to the bathroom or something. Yeah,
that's because there is that. What is it? The rumor that the Mona Lisa was duplicated and replaced.
Right.
Even Doctor Who has a story about that.
And just see, I think we had a conversation the other day too, Tivis. You see the mantle up there? It has the photos of all of them up there as well.
Yeah, I see that now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, like I just saw that as this, it's the screen is paused on my side over here. I was like, that's the Mona Lisa. Like,
No,
what the
that's
heck?
a good catch. I didn't notice that at all. But
I wonder
I
if
mean,
that's
as you,
been there the whole time. I'll have to
yeah.
go back and rewatch some of the dining scenes and check that
Mhm.
out.
Oh yeah. So Bella and Boris come down.
Yep.
He's telling her, "Hey, I'm a '90s guy. Sometimes I just need a little space," which is a little smack in your face foreshadowing. She tells him to cut it out. It's like I could see right through you. All right.
I'm a
Eh,
90s guy. It literally just turned 90s.
yeah. Eddie and Damien now come down. Lily asks, he's like, "Hey, did you get some sleep?" And Eddie's like, "Yeah, no. Damien was up all night hunting small furry animals with a blowgun."
Mhm.
This kid. Uh, the doorbell rings and Eddie volunteers to go get it. He trips on the table and turns to look at Damien like it was his fault, but Damien did, like, you could clearly see James Marsden's foot got caught on the table.
Yeah, but if he's supposed to be like the Damien, he does have like telekinetic powers.
Yeah, I think he just tripped and then turned to look at him.
Which works. I mean,
Yeah.
it helps. Yeah, so then Eddie runs off to the to answer the door. But before that, we get this weird like thing where Damien grabs the whole thing of grapes and gives Marilyn this weird look, bro.
Oh, yeah, I didn't write that down.
I'm like, you guys are cousins. What is going on? Like, no,
Well,
no, no,
a different side
no,
of the family.
no, no, don't care. No,
No, it's still weird, but at least it's not as weird as what you were proposing could be real. Uh,
no.
uh,
Yes, no. Yeah, so then I'm from West Virginia. No.
yeah, we ain't no Alabama boys. Uh,
Um, so that yeah, Eddie goes to the door, answers it, and it's like, "Hey, Pop," and then walks in. A little green version of Herman walks in, and then
yeah,
Eddie
very
double
much
takes and looks back.
skinnier in a biker jacket. It actually looks like the biker outfit that we see Herman wear in the original show and the movie. The
Yeah,
leather
yeah.
jacket.
Oh, and I'll tell you this right now, as we get further into this scene here, and we see an up close version of his face. That wig is just straight up like Herman's wig. They just had an extra one. They put it on him because it's so big on him.
Yeah.
Like I think when
Uh,
I did like the cutout for the image for this show this week, guys, like I don't even know if all of his hair is honestly there because it was so much blackness going on that I was just like I can't even tell. So yeah. Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Thank you, Tivis.
um, this is Frank. We get the introduction of Frank. This show's version of Charlie.
Yeah.
And everyone is shocked by him showing up. And Eddie's like, "Who is Frank?" Like, "That's your uncle." Herman's like, "No, he's no uncle. An uncle sends gifts or calls once a century." Yeah, who invited him? And Lily confesses that it was her.
Yeah.
Well, they couldn't have the whole family without him. It's supposed to be a joyous occasion, after all. And Frank tells Herman that he wouldn't even step foot in this house if Lily hadn't asked him to give Bella away. This is where you see the real height difference between them.
Yeah.
Herman tells him to leave because he's the one giving her away. And Bella is like, "Can't they both do it?"
Where's her dad at?
Not in the picture, apparently.
They killed him. He was
Yetta
a
might have, or he
he was a
just ran
normie.
away because Yetta.
Yeah.
Speaking of Yetta, or no, I'm sorry. Herman said, he would rather be chased by villagers with torches.
Yeah.
Yetta asks someone to please give her daughter away, and Boris says, he's feeling like marrying into the wrestling federation.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Bella says Bella's the one who goes, well, can they both give me away?
Yeah,
Just to like calm the tensions. But yeah, then yeah, Boris is like, I feel like I'm marrying into the wrestling federation. I'm out of here.
yeah.
Any reason for an out,
I
I
love
think
her
he was looking
comeback to
for.
this, though. What
What?
was that?
I think there was any reason for an out is what he was looking for, to be
Oh
honest.
yeah. Well, she goes, at least you can see my family.
Yeah.
And Boris, some bargain. And and then he just storms off saying the wedding's off and they've seen the last of him, which is, I feel like he's been wanting to say that his whole life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really does. Because when they were coming down, he's even telling her like, "Hey, no, I need a little. You're too much."
Oh boy.
So now,
I saw something else just now.
oh
It
boy,
made
what'd you see?
it's nothing major. It just made me laugh, so I took a screenshot of it. So up here on the fireplace mantle, you see
Yeah,
you see Lily, then you see a picture of Herman, then you see the exact same picture of Herman, just in a smaller frame.
yeah, all right.
It's just the close-up version because it's the same picture of his hand holding his chin up. Oh man, I should not be paying this much attention. Anyways,
I like how it's like placed in front of the other one too. Like, no, this one's
yeah.
better. So we cut
Huh.
to Bella spraying powder everywhere, looking for Boris.
Mhm.
Maryland asks, well, Grandpa's there. I didn't write who she was talking to, but she's like, hey, have you been out looking? He's like, no, I haven't left the house. There's 3
Yeah.
pounds of food in there. You think I'm, do you think I'm crazy? Eddie comes in yelling at Damien for using a flamethrower to find Boris. Boris has some decent reasoning here. If you hear screaming, you found him.
Damien has. You said Boris. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, Damien. Yeah. Why? So that's when Igor comes in. He's like, no,
Yep.
couldn't find him. But then again, I couldn't find my face when I was washing up this morning. Dude,
That made me
get
laugh
help.
so much when I watched it. It's like I can relate.
Yetta and Lily come in saying they plastered his face on every street corner around. That's not going to help. Then they got stuck in traffic for half an hour, some kind of parade going down Main Street, which is just a weird little factoid of stuff going on that has nothing to do and will not come back.
Right. It's just a bunch of extra, dialogue.
Yeah. They'd never seen anything like it. 400 men dressed like Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Which is this the... No, it's way too early for the Pride Parade, right?
The
In
let me
90
see.
or 89 when they filmed this, I guess.
And give me 1 sec. I'm gonna look this up because I'm trying to. Well, yeah, because the Million Man March. Well, no, that was for that. That's not Pride. Sorry. I don't remember when the first one was.
I'm just curious because if it is like a callback to the early start of those, good on them for inclusion.
First one was Pride marches were held in New York and Chicago. People gathered, Stonewall demonstration in 1970. So,
Okay, so it probably is that then.
yeah,
That's awesome.
and them being in, if they're still in California, yeah, it would make sense.
Yeah, they're. I believe they definitely established as California in this show.
Right.
Not so vague like the original.
Because then, like,
Oh.
the Million Man March, I don't think started until 95 or 96, something like that. Right?
I don't know.
I don't remember. I should know this stuff because I freaking took like all these history classes.
Yeah.
$6 Million Man March. No, no, I don't care about that. Oh yeah,
anyway.
the Million Man March was 95. That's what I thought. Okay.
All right. So yeah, Lily asks where Bella is, and Yetta begins freaking out for no reason. You know, like she's missing. We literally just saw her. And Grandpa even tells her, "Relax, she isn't hard to find." And Marilyn says, no, she's outside powdering the patio, which has to be out back because they just came in through the door. She went out. So
yeah, but then they walk right in the door.
Well,
because she had
Herman
just
comes
walked
in.
out the door, and
Yeah, they literally must have just passed. This Yetta
maybe
is
this
a mess.
Maybe the smoke, the powder like blocked her, so
Hit
they
her.
didn't see her. Yeah.
Herman comes in. They check the morgue and drain the moat, but forget it. He's disappeared. Yetta asks where Frank is, and Herman doesn't know nor care. It's all his fault this happened anyway.
Dun, dun,
So that's when
dun.
Bella comes in, announcing that she found Frank. Big deal. I'm not the one invisible.
Yeah. And Frank's
good
got
job,
baby
Bella.
powder all over his jacket now.
Yeah. She then starts crying, and Herman begins bickering with Frank until Lily tells them to stop. Everyone out except these two. Work it out. I'm sick of this.
Yeah. Well, Herman's like also like, none of this would have happened if you wouldn't have showed up, basically.
Yeah. So they immediately get into it. Herman tells him everyone came to see Bella and Boris get married. Well, at least Bella. No one cares about your infantile complaints. And Frank's like, look, you start treating me like a brother instead of a parent for the first time in their lives, and sure. Herman's like, look, if Frank didn't act like a child, I wouldn't need to. So that's when Frank counters, like, admit that nothing I do makes you happy. I wouldn't know. You've never done anything. This is such a harsh back and forth. Frank's like, I've done plenty. When they were in their teens, Herman spent every evening labeling every belly button and forehead down in Dad's lab while he was out cruising for girls in the box cart.
Oh, no, he doesn't say that. He says
Frank
broads.
says girls that don't.
He's cruising for broads in the ox cart. That's what he says. And that got me off guard. I was like, did they just say that?
If Frank's like, the girls were only dating me so that they could meet you anyway. And Herman says it's not his fault that he is built. It's just a double entendre I didn't expect. Frank's like, look, no, Herman, you got all the good things in life. Dad left you the lab, all this stuff. Herman's like, well, that's because he knows I'm the responsible one. Like, I'm the one who took after Dad, who looked after him in his waning years while you were off chasing milkmaids in the Alps. Like, you didn't even show up for his last birthday, which, ouch. Like, no wonder Herman is mad. Like, there shouldn't be an excuse for that. And especially the one that Frank is about to give, which he didn't want to get in between Dad and his favorite. Like, if it was up to their dad, he wouldn't even have been assembled. And that makes me like, whose idea was this? And that's when we find out. Igor told him that their dad wanted to scrap him. And Herman is so confused. Frank's like, look, I was an accident. Igor came in drunk one night, fell on the switch, and brought me to life. I was never wanted. I'm a factory second. Which,
But still, he would still have been assembled. So, his dad would have
Yeah.
assembled him anyways, regardless.
This is heartbreaking. Like, it's good insight into how Frank thinks and how Herman thinks and what
Mhm.
went wrong in their relationship. Because, I mean, not showing up for, someone you care about's last celebration on Earth, that's pretty screwed up.
Yeah.
And so I understand Herman, but then Frank finding out, or thinking at least that
Being told
he was
something.
never meant
Right.
to exist in the first place.
Right.
Oof. And that's where we find this revelation. Herman's like, that is ridiculous. This is what's been bothering all these years. So Frank's like, well, then how do you know it isn't true? Because I came home, found the lab locked one day, heard music and giggling. 9 months later, there you are.
Yeah. Well, he was like, Igor wasn't even in the state at the time. It's all a lie. It's all a lie.
Yeah. He was off seeing a chiropractor about his hump. And Frank doesn't know what to say to this, nor does Herman as he storms off. I'm like, oh,
Yeah. And here too, they didn't even
some family issues right there.
Familial trauma. As I said in the synopsis.
Mhm.
And I think I used that word right. Familial. That's for family, right? I think so.
I think so. Either that or you have like a witch's familiar.
But the thing that Herman didn't bring up, and he should have, was the fact that Frank is literally named after their dad.
Yeah.
So
That's true. Yeah.
If anything, shut up, Frank. Yeah. Yeah, but then they get the sad music
so now we
playing
get
again here and
Bella
stuff.
in her wedding dress crying and everyone else.
Are we on a delay?
Everyone's all dolled up. I think we are out of sync.
Yeah, we're on a delay at the moment, guys. So if we're talking over each other, sorry about that.
All right, are we back together?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Doing the sync claps. Yeah. Yeah, she's in her wedding dress crying. Everyone's all dolled up. Herman comes in putting a bow tie on, scowls at seeing Frank. And Eddie's like, why are we still having the wedding if Bora's in here? And Grandpa's like, what difference does it make? He wouldn't show up in the photos anyway.
And this is where I said that, yeah, that looks like Ivan News the most.
Don't see it, dude.
Oh, this one was, yeah, it's there. It's there.
I don't. Yeah. But Yetta starts telling her, like, don't make yourself crazy. You're better off. And Bella tells her that she doesn't blame him for running away from us. She loves them all very much, but they are the family from hell, which is a line I would expect in National Lampoon.
Also, who the hell is she supposed to be getting married to still?
That's
They're just gonna do a wedding just to do a wedding.
Yeah. So the Grandpa's like, couldn't have said it better myself, and tries to sit down. And look, he found Boris. He has decided that he isn't going to let their family problems get in between the two of them. And I have to wonder, how long has this dude been spying on them all? Like, if you notice in all these scenes, either they're already sitting when the scene starts, or they don't sit down at all, which makes me wonder, is this guy been hiding in the house this whole time?
Right. You notice when Grandpa tries to sit down on him, he yells at them to get off his gherkin.
Yeah, dude.
Do people know what a gherkin is?
What's a gherkin, Mike?
It's like a cucumber. It's like another word for like a cucumber. So getting off his gherkin, he's telling them basically to get off of his crotch.
Yeah, get off my lap.
Don't sit on my thingy thing. Get off my cucumber, bro.
Well, it's places, everyone. Lily starts playing the organ. Eddie and Damien begin dropping flower petals before fighting in the aisle.
Yeah. And this is where like after this Boris does say, I won't let you or won't allow your family problems to come between me and Bella.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah,
To
yeah.
the family. He says that to the family.
Mm.
Which is
Both
good.
her,
That's what you should have freaking said the first time, stooge.
yeah,
Boy.
seriously.
Yeah, and so then we're getting in our places and everything like that. And you have the drunk freaking Igor up there.
Herman and Frank both walking Bella down the aisle together.
Yeah.
And I
And like this.
Yeah, I'm like, this poor actress, she's being drug all over the place. And we didn't mention her veil is so like obscuring her face during all of this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, and Lily gets up to walk with Yetta, and the organ continues to play for a couple seconds as she looks back at it like, what?
Right. Yeah. And but before that, when Yellow walks into the scene, she starts like over exaggerating the crying.
She's like telling Lily, like, come on, play the music so I can do this.
Yeah. Like queuing her up and stuff. So I don't know, is this supposed to be a thing that that they just did in like, I don't know, Transylvania or something? Is it like a Romanian thing to cry at the wedding like that?
I think she's just overly dramatic. This Igor
Yeah.
Igor has a problem though. Like,
Bro.
this dude needs help bad.
Yeah.
So he calls upon Della to give her vows. And I didn't write them down, but she touches on so many things. Oh, you did? Take it away.
So they did like a quick back and forth where they just basically say something to each other. I didn't write that part down. But then she says, I promise never to judge you. I promise to love you for your uniqueness, to appreciate our differences, and to respect each other's views. And that was it. That's all she says.
And touches Herman and Frank.
Right. And then Boris goes and does his, which he then says, I promise not to let petty jealousies build up between us. Or no, wait. I promise not to let petty jealousies to build up. When two people really love each other, they owe it to each other to work it out.
Yeah.
That's what he says.
And it's like everyone's looking at like Eddie, Damien, Lily, Yetta, Frank, Herman.
Yeah.
It's like both their vows touched everyone in the room except Grandpa, who just does not care.
Because Grandpa's just so annoyed with Igor. It's like, what a waste.
Yetta actually apologizes to Lily for taking over. And Lily's like, oh, it's fine. You had every right. She is your daughter, not mine. And they hug, and Lily goes, thank God, silently.
Yeah.
So, do you, Hank, take Pam to be your wife? I do. Do you, Mildred, take this man, Steve, to be your husband? And Grandpa is just painfully staring in the back of Igor's head.
He goes, okay, well then by the power, the Transylvanian power vested in me, I am forced to revoke your driver's license and sentence you to 40 hours of community service.
No, immunity. Grandpa shouts community. Everyone jumps. Igor tries again, still fails. And then he's, can I kiss the bride?
Which is weird. It's weird. Weird.
So,
that's some like dirty uncle energy going on right there.
So Bella now takes her veil off. She lost her unibrow, and everyone is shocked at how good she looks. Boris then makes himself visible, which is a total dick move that he hadn't done that before now.
Right.
He wants the whole world to see him with such a beautiful wife. Like, wow. Really?
It's a very shallow episode with that as like the main kind of the main focus around it with
Yeah.
the female looks, I should say. Because let's be honest, like, you know, if she's looking like that, he way overshot his
Mhm.
his reach, because
Which
he pops out with this freaking like oh, mustache that, yeah, it's just, and he's like going bald like hardcore too. So I'm like, maybe she doesn't want to be seen with you, bro.
but she's just glad he doesn't look like a halibut. Uh, so they kiss and everyone claps, and then we get the last scene where they're doing the conga train with
Well, we
Herman
did
in the
get
lead.
everybody. Herman and Frank did finally uh close everything up too.
Yeah.
They apologized and everything. But yeah, then
Mhm.
they're doing the what did you say it was?
It was the conga, they're doing
Okay, yeah.
conga line. That's it.
Yeah, and then they're like, "Oh, let's get in line for a photo." And Igor sets the camera up, and they all line up for their photo. And they get down in their picture pose and stuff. And
And
yeah, there's like, is the camera loaded? And
well,
Igor,
you missed the part where
oh,
she throws the bouquet
yes.
and
Yes.
yet a cat, which I had Marilyn suggest this as they're posing for the photo.
Yeah.
And it seems like what a weird time to do this. Why would you say to do it right now?
And you're all family anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Yeah, well, Yetta catches it and she like tries to hook her arm with Grandpa, and he's like, uh, no. Or
Yeah.
what is he said, you should live so long, and then moves away from her.
Yeah.
And that's when Igor joins.
Yeah,
And
Igor joins over, and then yeah, there's like, is the camera loaded? And Igor's like, who cares?
who cares?
It's funny.
Get
It's funny,
big
guys.
photo, which it this
Yes.
is such a cool shot.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Look at that. Look at that freaking, like, you have all those Frankenstein monsters, Draculas, normies, and then you have Ivan Ooze's mom.
no. You have the tall drunk monk with a humpback, apparently. Yeah, this is it. This, if they were to do a box set, this picture, if it's not featured on it or inside it, this should 100% be on a disc at least.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah, if I would have known about this, I probably would have put it on our box set that I made for us.
Yeah, as one of the
That's a
many
cool
photos
pic.
on the back.
Yeah. You have yours
Yeah.
right next to you. Mine's so far away.
Oh yeah, I always have it right next to me.
Yeah. Noise.
Yeah, I smacked the mic stand. Sorry.
All right, so you want to jump into final thoughts, or do you want to do like final, like, what do you want to
Yeah,
do
let's
right
go
here?
into final thoughts here.
Okay.
This episode was amazing. I loved every
Definitely.
second of this.
This,
It's always a blast when we get family members. I believe I texted you before I started watching this. There was a one type of reunion we didn't consider, and that's like a school reunion.
mhm.
And I'm so glad it wasn't this episode, because I would have been mad if that's
Right.
what it was. But the acting from everyone involved, the guests were spectacular. Um, the writing, just amazing between the four of them. There's not a bad thing I can honestly say about this. But this is easily making my top 5 so far of everything we've watched.
Yeah. It was awesome to see, because they definitely touch on a lot in this episode, especially family stuff.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like, they also, the episode has like sad moments, high moments, low moments, cringe moments. It has like almost
Comedic
every
moments, yeah.
yeah, it has like almost every kind of emotion within one 21-minute episode. It's
It's
crazy to see.
everything that makes sitcoms so special to me.
Yeah. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
Definitely, dude.
and as you said, the family stuff, it's great. We get to hear more about Herman's family. Again, we're guessing this entire thing is Herman's side of the family, which is something we
Mhm.
rarely get. Like what the original show, we saw two people and then a descendant of Victor. Is
Yeah.
woo. And then in the movies, they shifted Marilyn to being his niece, and we saw his sister and stuff. But this is cool. Seeing all of this and getting Igor back in the show in this very unusual way that I never would have guessed. Uh,
Mhm.
it's like the whole thing with Herman and Frank, they're the way they tell their stories and that the lines are delivered, you really get a sense of how each one of them could feel the way they do.
Yeah.
Um, Yetta being overbearing, like everyone has a family member like that, whether you want to or not, they're there.
Mhm. They are
Uh,
they're the family member that they just let everything slip out. They don't really give a crap. They don't really
yeah, they're
think
the
about
one
it.
everyone wonders why you invite constantly.
They're they're the family member that they think that they're being helpful, but really they're just being a dick. Like that kind of family member. Um
Mhm.
where everything is a backhanded and like you nailed it on the head, dude. Like when you were talking about how it reminds you of National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation.
Mhm.
Because I mean it 100 and almost the whole thing. Christmas Vacation takes place in a couple other locations, but it's also a lot longer. But this, almost the whole house is basically with the whole location here. I
Mhm.
really do wish that moving forward with this show that we do get some more sets.
Yeah.
You know, like yeah,
I
we get the cemetery stuff here and there, but that's to me that could be their backyard for all we know. So
Yeah, we got the school in the beginning of the season. We
yeah,
haven't seen it in a while.
yeah, yeah. There's been a lot of just guests coming to the Munster house, but as far as like all the familial stuff, like there's family stuff. I think familial is another term for like the family crap. Let me double check.
You've
'Cause I
used it
probably
this
should have
entire
from
episode, so
should have Chris freely given. Yeah, it's yeah. That's what I thought. Yeah, that's for family. Um, I've been using it all my fucking week because dealing with other random crap. But no, like yeah, the relationship between Frank and Herman is one of those ones that I've experienced in real life where not necessarily like, oh, you abandoned the family type of thing, but like, separation, not coming around and stuff. And I've had some of those thoughts too about some of my siblings, to be honest, like the same thoughts that Herman has about it's just like, well, I mean, you have to make effort, but the same thing could be said about myself too, is I have to make more of an effort. And I know my ADHD ass, unless I'm around somebody, really, it's like my mind blocks everything out. What's going, So it's one of the curses of living like 12, 1,300 miles away from the majority of my family is, I tend to like get into my own world here. And unless I'm constantly talking to you on a daily basis, it kind of like weans to the back of my mind. So you could say that was going on here a little bit with Frank, but Frank also had his own like trauma put onto him as well with why he wasn't talking to the family and why he wasn't around Herman, because he felt like Herman was like the poster child for the family versus, all he had to do was freaking talk, just talk. Like
mhm.
If you have an issue with a family member, talk to them, bro. Like, that's the easiest way to solve issues, especially with family. Like, if you can't do it with family, how do you expect to do it with friends or random people in the world? Business partners, coworkers, all that crap. If you can't open up and talk to your family about how you're feeling and why you feel those ways, then you might as well just give up right now or get a new family. One of the two. One of the two.
It's like something I've said repeatedly, no matter what form of relationship you have going on, whether it be romantic, family, friend, communication is key.
Mhm. Always.
Yeah. Like, even with the people, who you're friends with, who you don't talk that often,
Mhm.
still communicate. You don't just ignore them and still call them a friend.
Right. Right. Yeah, I do have, like, because I have a bunch of friends up north still, and that's the majority of, like, my friends. So I do try and stay in contact as much as I can, where if it pops into my head, be like, oh, I should probably text them at least today and be like, hey, happy birthday, or hey, how are your kids doing? And shit like that. Same thing goes with my brothers, because I know there's been a time frame where I just didn't reach out to some of my brothers for a minute, and that's just because I got into my own stuff, and then uh one of my brothers who does listen to this show, I know for sure, he reaches out to me constantly, so that's kind of like kept his presence in my brain, so I kind of remember he exists. It's just me, because for people who don't like understand like ADHD type stuff and all that, it's one of those things that it can cause those issues, especially with family and friends, to where you just kind of forget people exist. But you don't forget they exist, but you forget they exist in the moment. You know what I mean? Um, yeah. I don't. I'm gonna get calls after this episode. Be like,
Yeah.
were you talking about me or were you talking about this person? I'm trying not to
that's
say
not a bad thing though.
specifics. Yeah. Yeah, yeah. I mean, they'll be reaching out then, I guess.
Yeah.
Um,
None
so
of my
must be.
family listen to this, so
I mean, I have to be told to call my mom even sometimes too, which is I,
you better do that tomorrow.
I understand, like, there's also the thing, like, it's basic, it's recorded into history, I guess, or the genetics or whatever. But like when men end up getting married and having their own families and stuff like that, they kind of distance from their parents more than like when they're not married. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's for everybody, but I did notice that happened after I got married. It was like, I kind of, especially when I moved away, it was a lot more like, oh yeah, probably my wife has to remind me, like, have you called your mom? Because she'll talk to my mom almost every freaking day. and I'll go like 3 weeks without talking to my mom. So
See, we
but
don't have that. I don't talk to her mom. She doesn't talk to my mom. So
yeah. Well, I mean, my in-laws live here with us. And on my property, they live here. So that's very close. So I generally talk to them almost every day, unless
you
it's like
kind of
I'm.
have to.
Yeah, right. And unless it's like a thing where like I left super early for work and then I don't get in till like stupid late and they're all
Yeah.
bedtime anyway. Um but yeah, like my wife will have to remind me. And my wife talks to my mom. My wife and my mom have gotten together along. But I mean, granted, me and my wife were also friends for years before we even started dating and all that stuff. So
See, my family never had really close relationships,
mhm.
and that's why I think the fact that Victoria's family can't go more than 3 days without seeing each other, especially her mom and her, is
Right.
weird to me. Like, we have Sunday lunch or breakfast every single week.
With her parents.
Yeah, and I'm like, "That's
Yeah.
weird." Can't we be like my family where we see each other once every 3 to 4 months?
Yeah. That's yeah. I'm trying to remember the last time I actually saw like every. I think it was like Christmas. At one of the Christmases, we went up north and saw everybody, and we were all there. I still don't think I saw some of the family though. So, and that is the thing. It's like unless I show up there, not many of them come down here. So, I mean,
Well, I mean, it's Florida, so
two-way street. Yeah, but I got beaches and
you go down in
and
the
I met-
winter, you risk
and I
being hit by
actually-
old people. Like, you go down in the summer and it's miserable.
I just wanted to let people know I actually mean beaches, not the other thing that sounds like it. I got beaches. So
You also have the other thing that sounds like it.
oh, I'm telling my wife you said that.
I was talking about the whole state of Florida.
But no, like communication is definitely good. I'm glad that by the end of this that everyone seemed to communicate properly except for Grandpa and Igor.
Even Damien and Eddie a little bit kind of like, all right, whatever, we'll be cordial.
Right. Well,
you know, Damien's the Satan spawn.
Yeah, we'll be cousins that understand each other's like basis, and that's all we need to do. Because even your cousin, like, you don't have to be best friends with everybody in your family. You know, it's not a written law. The blood doesn't, make you, any stronger. So I have friends that are closer to me than some of my family members.
Every one of my cousins are different. The one cousin on my mom's side, he's a construction dude. I can't understand that. My dad's side, they're all into cars, weightlifting, becoming police officers. I don't understand it, but
yeah. Well, see, growing up, like most of my all of my brothers, I will say, pretty much, they're all car guys, and they would do like weightlifting and stuff. Like I worked out, but like I did more natural workout stuff. Like I didn't just sit in the gym and lift weights, in the basement or whatever. Like I would just go out, climb trees, run, do like stuff out in nature, and would be in good shape. I'm not anymore, clearly. But
you'd get along with my dad's side. They're all outdoorsy people. And I'm like,
yeah.
You want to hear my new board game?
But see, like the thing is, like my family were like the ones that watched football all the time. They watched all the sports on TV. I still to this day don't give a shit about watching sports on TV unless it's pro wrestling or the Olympics. I watch the Olympics on TV as well. But
which is this year, I believe.
I think so. We have some Winter Olympics.
I don't remember, but I don't want to throw you off.
Yeah.
I know you get distracted down holes easy.
Yeah, but crap.
Damn it. You're not a sports guy. You're not a
yeah. Like I like sports, but I'd rather play them than watch them on TV myself. But so my whole family is kind of like different in that aspect where like I'll just go out and I would rather do the stuff instead of watch it. But at the same time, like you're saying, like, you have some cousins and stuff there in the construction or cars and stuff like that. But there's always that middle ground too, because I was always able to find like the geekdom with my family as well, with like you have your Conan stuff or like your comic book stuff and things like that. Like, because they did all those like machismo things, I guess you would consider, or whatever. But then they would go and play D&D at the same time at the end of the day. So there was always something there that you could like connect in any random facet, Yeah. So, but now like I'm the one who's like building houses and doing this other stuff, and then I do a stupid podcast about movies and stuff like that.
Where you have your armband to stop from hurting yourself while building the house.
Yeah. But like I said, like the communication in this episode is great, and communication is always good, guys. Even like when I'm texting Tivis, if I find this happens a lot, like I'll say something and Tivis will just straight up ignore me in the text, and I'll be like, text him back. I'm like, don't fucking ignore me. Like, just don't ignore me, dude. I went this whole episode without saying
there's a
that
lot
word
of times that
right?
you text me on the weekends that I'm like in the middle of something. I'm like, I cannot get back to you right now.
Right. Well, no, you'll the funny ones are like, I'll text you something, and then
Then I'll
you'll just
change
text me,
topics.
change topics, like we're like on a live show or something. I'm like, no, this is don't ignore what I just said. Like,
Oh, I'm going to.
communication.
And a lot of times I'll just ignore that comment too.
Most of the time, they're stupid dad jokes, but still.
Yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, yeah, this is another one that, like, this is, again, like I said earlier, this has
there.
the gambit of stuff that I love from
Mhm,
sitcoms.
mhm.
Have there been shows that have done it better? Sure.
Yeah.
Does that make this any less of a great episode? No.
Right.
This was fantastic.
There is definitely a lot to break down with this episode, and like I wish we had a lot more time too, because
Yeah.
there's so much. Like, I mean, you have your drunken uncle stuff. Oh shit, they had that in the freaking National Lampoon, didn't they? They had the old drunk uncle guy. Yeah. Oh man, which came out first? National Lampoon, right? That was like
Yeah.
an '80s one. Yeah.
Yeah. It might have been around this time. It might have been 89, actually. Let's see.
Was it?
Christmas Vacation. It came out 89. Yeah. So
89. So it's
not long before this.
right around the same
Which
time.
I wonder, since they had 4 different writers give it, different treatments, I wonder if they kind of may have rewrote it a little bit to be more like that movie. Well, they still
Maybe.
would have to film it and stuff, though.
Yeah.
That'd
But
be
I
cutting it
mean,
close.
but you're talking about a movie that came out in '89, so it was probably done in '88
Yeah. When in
or
89, though?
or early '89. It was probably shot in early '89, late '88, and then came
Okay,
out
so it
for Christmas time
came
'89.
out December 1st.
Yeah.
So that, with filming, that would give them what, like 6 weeks to film and edit? Because
Like,
this came out in
yeah.
February.
Yeah. 8 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's possible, but
Yeah. I do like that. Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. What did you think about the relationship though between uh well, Marilyn didn't really have anybody. I
no,
felt
she
so
just got
bad for her.
insulted and then fell in the background. We
Yeah.
need a Maryland-centric episode. We
Yeah,
haven't got one.
especially knowing what they made this actress go through. And screw you
Yeah.
guys. Give her a full episode just to herself.
Yeah.
Like she had more screen time, I felt, and more story in the first season than in this season, to be honest. And
Oh,
it
definitely. That one where she ran away?
yeah, she ran away. She did like the filming as she was a director. She had a
Yeah.
lot of the episodes with Howie.
Oh, Howie,
So
come back.
yeah. So it bring not that we can really change the past, but I hope there's more episodes to come with Maryland centric.
Mhm.
um somebody go back in time real quick before we get to them and change this. But I mean,
Kang, where are you?
we have a whole season and a half left of this show,
Mhm.
so that'll be interesting to see what they do, and where we go with all of it.
Yeah, because what episode is this again? This is
13.
13. Okay, so this is the exact halfway point of the season.
Yeah, so there's 26 episodes.
Yeah, I believe so. This one.
I thought there was only 24.
I
Yeah,
believe that
there's
was
only
season.
24. There's only
Is there? I thought
24
there
in
was
season 2.
26.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, so we have about 11 more episodes to go, guys. Which we'll probably do something for our 100th episode for all y'all. So we'll finish this season out by probably like 102, 103, something like that.
Yeah.
And yeah, I don't want to harp too much on the family stuff because I don't want to get too deep in. I don't want my family to think everything I'm saying is about them, because it's not the case. It's just a thought process of it.
I got you, man.
And my family, I know, will be like, "Oh, you said this. Why you bringing that shit up?" Blah blah blah. Because I did refrain from a few jokes during the talk, so yeah.
Yeah, see, I got no problem calling my aunt out because she's been rude to my wife. So
yeah, I haven't had those issues. My family has been nothing but loving towards my wife, my grandparents, my mom,
everyone
my
else
dad.
is. It's literally just her, and she does this to everyone. I'll tolerate it with me. With her, no.
Yeah. I think there's only one person that's probably ever butted heads with my wife, and not even really butted heads, but and he listens to the show, so hey, buddy. But like he came to stay with us, and they kind of like butt heads for like a day or so, and then he realized, oh shit, yeah, you're not my mom, so I guess I shouldn't try and talk to you the way I talk to my mom. But yeah, it's I can't
that leaves more. I know you can't go into more details, but that leaves so many questions for me. We are going to talk, and this is over.
But no, definitely, guys. I recommend this episode 1000% to people that want to see like a culmination of like what a Munsters episode is, because there's a lot of stuff even from like the original series that's like put into this episode, I would say. 1000%, like especially with like the semi PSA moments or whatever they have in it. But this was awesome because they built it into the script where it made sense. Whereas like, yeah, we have that very famous line of Herman at the end of the episode that we play every episode right now about the color of your skin or whatever, that doesn't matter and all that stuff. Yeah, that's a great line, but the episode leading up to that line made no sense with that line. You know what I mean?
No,
Because
absolutely not.
It absolutely doesn't. It actually, the whole episode negates that whole line, and then they threw that line in there at the end. And I'm sorry if you guys feel opposite about it. If you do, definitely let us know and let us know why. But as far as that episode, because it's the episode where Eddie grows a beard and everything and gets soup at the end that takes it off, and then Herman goes in about the color of people's skin and everything.
Hypocritical in that show.
It was such a very, that's the word, such a hypocritical episode. And then they try and then use that line at the end to negate all the crap that they did throughout the episode, which is kind of whereas in it, and that's why I kind of like this episode, because they realize their issues and they specifically state, this was my issue, this shouldn't be the issue. I need to fix this part of myself to better myself and our relationship. And they did it within the parameters of the way the story was still folding out, to where it didn't seem forced, and it didn't seem like it was like them really quickly trying to throw in like a happy moment at the end to try and like recoup the bullshit that they did throughout the episode. They did it as a form of leading up, and then it's like, oh yeah, I actually regret doing this. I shouldn't have left you like that just because of your family. I shouldn't have walked out because your family's crazy as balls. Because let's face it, my wife would have walked out years ago if that was the case.
Oh, same here.
So it's and like, you know, we need to work through these things. We need to stick with each other. We need to do this. Now the issues, the episode still does have issues with the whole like uh not narcissism, what is it, shallowness of
Yeah.
everybody here, where they're like, well, you need, you know, clothes that fit you, or you need to not have a unibrow, or thank God you're not ugly like a toad or whatever. So it's like those issues. I get it, it's a sitcom, 90s, they need some jokes, whatever, but it still doesn't take away from the main premise of the show, the episode, where it's building up, building up, building up to this realization that they were wrong. Like each individual person was wrong in their own right, you know. Like Lily was wrong for being mad at the fact that uh Yeda, was it? Right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeda
Yeah.
took over the wedding, but you know what? It's not even Lily's responsibility, so it didn't matter. So, and then like Herman was mad at his brother. His brother was more like eating himself up inside, to be honest, than anything else. He wasn't even mad, and then you get the resolve right there, which was really cool. And and I hope to God, like, some people hearing this episode, if you're having issues with somebody like this, to where you have an issue with somebody because something was told to you from somebody else, reach out to that person that you have an issue with. Maybe that other person lied to you. You know, not all the time. I know this is real life and I understand that, and it's not as easy as TV, but it should be, you know, it should be, especially if it's family or friends that you do podcasts with. Screw you, Tivis. I'm going to say what I want. And you will acknowledge me. Don't do that. Don't do that to me. Oh.
Yeah.
Dun dun dun. Sorry guys, we're doing some video gags here. But anyways,
Yeah.
do you any final thoughts on the episode? Like, I know you did your other final thoughts, but do you have like more final words to say on the episode before we get out
I
of here?
don't know what more I could say. I guess touch on the whole letting outside influences on relationships.
Mhm.
Don't do that. Like, unless it's something like what I've already talked about, where someone is being directly negative to someone you care about. Do not let that influence how you interact with them. Like, you're having a bad day, or the people around you are making you miserable. Don't take
Mhm.
it out on anyone who doesn't
Yeah.
deserve it.
Yeah. Yeah.
But other
Definitely.
than that, yeah, I think everything's been said. This is a great episode. We finished talking about it quickly, so this is a nice big chunk of it, because we were excited to talk about. Like, we were really holding back, trying not to text before we record
Yeah.
this.
Yeah.
uh,
Yeah.
this was a good one.
Yeah. And remember, guys, if your family's like the Griswolds, you're like the
Run.
Munsters. All right, Tivis. So what are we talking about next week, dude?
Next week, we are talking about Pants on Fire. Now,
Ooh,
should we take this literal or the
no.
liar liar aspect?
I think it's gonna be a liar liar thing.
I think
Not
so
the
too.
Jim
I think
Carrey movie, but yeah.
I'm going to guess Eddie. An Eddie episode where he lies about something at school.
Only because we've had no Maryland episodes, I'm going to semi agree with you, but I'm going to toss out one that might possibly be that.
Okay.
Maryland, a Maryland episode.
Please.
Possibly a Maryland episode where she's lying about where she was. Was she like went to a party or something like that?
That
It's a
would
very
be good.
sitcom-y, it's a very
Mhm.
sitcom-y like trope that they do with the teenage daughters and stuff like that. So it would
Yeah.
make sense, especially the early 90s. I think even like freaking Married with Children did it. I know Full House did it multiple times. So I wouldn't. Yeah.
Third option.
Third option.
Grandpa's lying because he's constantly lying. Actually, let's just rule out. I believe this could be anyone in the family except Lily. If this is the Lily episode, this will shock me so much. I will not be upset by it. But whoa.
Right. Yeah.
We also need a Lily-centric episode.
We do.
The women are getting shafted again. Come on.
Right? They had a good run in the first season, too.
They did.
And towards the second season of the OG series, even.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah. Yeah, I can't think of any other thing. Unless it's like a guest, another guest shows up, you know. Somebody comes to their house, like a salesman or like a con man or something like that. But I feel that's like overdone.
Good. Yeah.
I'd much rather it be like a Maryland centric, like, you know, she lied about where she was or what she did or something like that.
A life lesson episode.
Yeah. Yeah. You don't have to lie to us about this, you know, but yeah. But you are still in trouble because you did lie or something like that, you know. We're not mad at what you did. We're mad more so because you lied, kind of thing.
Fourth option. Herman burns all of his pants and has to wander around in boxers the entire episode.
A literal interpretation. All the pants are just on fire. All right.
His dresser combusts.
Yeah. Well, thank you all very much, guys, for listening and tuning in. We hope you enjoyed this episode, and definitely please do, if you are on the Patreon and whatever, get onto the Discord, watch this episode. It is a great episode, especially if you like National Lampoon, especially if you just want to see, like I said earlier, a culmination of the Munsters in general, because it really does feel like the new mixed with the old really well done, and there's like a range of emotions and feelings all in this one episode here. Even cringe moments, like, I mean, even the original series had some cringy moments, so you can't like you say, oh no, that's too nasty or cringy or whatever for the Munsters, because it happened in the original series too. And cringe by the standards of today, I would say, too, especially. So definitely do check that out, guys. Again, this episode was called Reunion. It is season 2, episode 13 of the Munsters Today. Definitely do check that out. I think we should start saying that at the beginning of the episode too, so people know what episode it technically is in number wise. So maybe we can start doing that. Do you? Okay.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right before you get into your stuff. Okay, never mind them.
Yep.
All right. Any final words, Tivis?
This was a great one. I was excited for this, and it paid off.
Awesome. All right, guys. Well, with that all said, we will catch y'all next time as we take another stroll down 1313 Mockingbird Lane.
I want you to learn is it doesn't matter what you look like. You can be tall or short, or fat or thin, or ugly, or handsome, like your father. Or you can be black or yellow or white. It doesn't matter. What does matter is the size of your heart and the strength of your character. Munster.